Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in wager bucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.
Welcome, guys, right here to WagerTalk TV. This is Puck Time. I'm Andrew McInnis. I have Lawrence Presman joining me in just a few minutes. We have a great slate today, a surprisingly big slate today for a Monday on Puck Time. We have 7 games. We're going to go over 4 best bets at the end from both Prez and myself. First of all, guys, $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. Every single play, $9. Not just plays for today, plays for the weekend, down the way as well. You can grab every single play, no matter what the rating is, for just $9. I'm happy to have cashed my best bet yesterday on the Bruins. Great spot for them. San Jose ending their road trip. Prez, big day from Prez, though. 5-2 start to the NBA season, but 5-0 yesterday, continuing that big NFL run of his. Prez, we got some great games today. I'll bring you in. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun day. We got a slate of NHL I'm betting. I got an NBA play up for my clients. I got a Sunday NFL play up, but I'm not touching this NFL game tonight. That is for sure. I can't find a thing. But yeah, dude, excited to be here. Carm is on the airplane. I'm on the same airplane tomorrow. And I look forward to hanging out with him. I might even get to hang out with our producer, Dan, tomorrow night for dinner. I'm going to send him the bill, though.
Yeah, send it his way. And don't tell him till the end either, Prez.
No, he won't. Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I'm not going to tell him a thing. I'm just going to, what we're going to do is we're going to just walk out.
Oh, yeah,
just leave him sitting there.
Say you have to go to the washroom or something and then just head out.
Yeah.
Or don't even do that. Just get up.
Yeah, just get up and leave.
Toronto at Carolina. We've got Calgary at New York, LA and St. Louis playing again, and Dallas and Columbus. Let's start things off with Toronto and Carolina. And this one's interesting. You know, we get Carolina minus 120, Toronto plus 100 here. I believe we're going to see Frederik Andersen, kind of a little revenge factor after he was moved to the Carolina Hurricanes. Maple Leafs, you know, tough back-to-back games there against San Jose Sharks, and then a very winnable game, what I thought would be, against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, well, the Penguins were without pretty much everybody. Rust, Crosby, Malkin, Carter, and they got the job done against the Maple Leafs. But I'll tell you one thing, Prez, I'm not worried about the Maple Leafs scoring at all. You know, I'll admit I had a bet there on them against the Penguins at minus 125. I'm not as worried about the Maple Leafs scoring troubles as I am about their defense right now. You know, Jake Muzzin, Justin Hull, those guys are really sloppy right now in the defensive end, and the forwards are lacking the back check. I have a graphic I want to bring up on the screen if we do have it in the back end. And I just want to mention, this is from the San Jose Sharks game, the Maple Leafs against the San Jose Sharks. These are the expected scoring opportunities and dangerous scoring opportunities for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In that game that they scored just 1 goal, Prez, they were actually expected by advanced metrics to score upwards of 5 goals in that game. So, you know, this season I found with Buffalo having a great start and, you know, certain teams like San Jose playing so well, there's going to be variance. And this chart right here should tell people that the scoring will come for the Maple Leafs. Personally, for me, I worry about their defense because I believe the scoring will come, and you see those big dots close to the net. And what that tells me is they aren't just shooting from the outside. They're getting lots of chances from the inside as well. I wanted to bring that up because the eye test would tell us the Maple Leafs haven't been scoring much, but a lot of the advanced numbers and all of these great graphs show us they've been creating many chances here. Carolina has scored at least 3 goals in all of their games so far. I'm going to look towards the over 6 here, Prez. I just don't think the Leafs will turn it around defensively right away, but I do feel like they'll contribute on the offensive end here tonight. Over 6 for me in this one, Prez.
Yeah, Andrew, first I want to point out that the Leafs scored 3 goals against San Jose, not 1. And Secondly, I'm totally with you on the over here. And, an interesting angle from my perspective is the fact that the Leafs will get a chance to shoot against Frederik Andersen now. Just like in baseball, the longer a batter faces a pitcher, the better it is for the batter and not the pitcher. If you get to take shots on a goaltender in practice for 4 years, it is to your benefit when you play against that goaltender and not to the goaltender's benefit. The goaltender is not going to know whether you're going left or right. These are professional athletes. They can change direction. However, everybody on the Leafs know where Frederik Andersen's weak spot is. For the guys listening who don't know, who want to know, it's called in the net. That's where his weak spot is, standing in the freaking net. I'm with you 100% on the over, Andrew, and I just want to say two things. Tonight we have a situation where Florida 5-0 is playing Arizona, and Carolina 4-0 is playing the Leafs. This is a good spot to fade both those teams. And I'm telling you, I think fade Florida? Are you insane? Arizona can't score. I feel like it's worth a $5 parlay. How's that, Andrew? A $5 parlay on Arizona and the Leafs. I don't even know why you'd put the Leafs in there at plus 109, but yeah, I'm with you on the over in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of goal scoring. And, man, this Carolina team is lights out right now. And they are so fast. Kotkaniemi or whatever his name is, what an addition to that team as well. And he's creating some more space for other people. And Aho, wow. So I'm with you, dude. I actually lean on the Leafs tonight, not because I'm a homer, but because the longer these teams go undefeated, it's going to be in the next two games where both these teams lose. So I like the Leafs and I like the over much more. So I'm with you. I will bet the over tonight.
Good stuff. Let's get it done, Prez. And I'm with you with that as far as seeing Frederik Andersen. And it's a great comparison to baseball. A lot of people think that this whole revenge factor means that the goaltender is going to know the players, which he will from practice. But I'd much rather take the players knowing the goaltender than the goaltender knowing the players, So yeah, I'm right 100%. There with you. And I agree. I agree with those undefeated teams as well. Look what happened yesterday with Minnesota Wild. Nashville Predators go in there, take them down. And we aren't discussing the Arizona game today on the air, so I'll just mention real quick to Prez's point. If you are feeling bold and want to bet on this Arizona team, I know the money line is a great juicy price, but you can get their team total over 2.5 at plus 150. So that would mean they would score 3 goals. If they lose that game 5-3, you still win your wager. Just an idea there if you think that it'll be a little flat spot for the Panthers in that one.
Andrew, I just want to point out, and I'm not implying a thing here, but just before I mentioned the Florida game, Florida was minus 400. Now they're minus 380. I'm not suggesting coincidence or anything. I'm just laying it out.
We're moving lines on the show right now. Everybody here, we're moving lines on Puck Time. Let's jump into Calgary and New York. And Prez, right now, Rangers minus 135, Calgary plus 115. I'm going to go to you first in this game, but I think it's a very interesting travel spot. What's your take on this game here?
Well, I mean, let me give you a take on both teams in general, because I actually feel like that's important. People need to know sort of how I'm looking at betting teams.
For sure.
I think Calgary is a bad hockey team that won't make the playoffs. I am impressed with their first line right now. They're ticking, but that's not going to be a consistent thing. I think this Calgary team is going to end up being in the bottom 7 of the entire league. And conversely, I have been telling everybody since day one that the Rangers are really, really good. They shut teams down. They score when they need to. I'm getting minus 135. Calgary on the road. Calgary off of a big win. This is a letdown spot for the Flames at a maximum degree. I like the Rangers at minus 135, and they're my second favorite play on the entire board. They will be at the end of the show my best bet. So, I mean, you guys don't even need to stick around. Just go. Just leave. Bye.
Well, stick around for the rest of the show, but after the best bets, that's going to be Prez best bet. Yeah, I'm with you. And I love how you're just very simple about it. You're like, they are a very bad team. And I think when you mentioned their top line is Roland Prez, that's pretty much all they have.
Yeah.
And you can't have that in the NHL right now, you know?
Yeah, no, and it's like I have a bet up tonight for my clients in hockey, and it is not on that Rangers game. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, man, I got to add the Rangers. Like, there's a fairly decent chance the Rangers will actually make my card by the time this show ends. That's how much I like the Rangers. So bet the Rangers, folks.
Guys, you can get Prez's best bet, his favorite bet in the NHL today for just $9. I have a top play up as well, 4% wager for $9 at WagerTalk.com. And yeah, it's an interesting spot here for Calgary. They're on the road. Back-to-back games, they won against Detroit and Washington. But for New York, I'm with you, Prez. I think they're going to be an impressive team this year. I think they have plenty of talent. And I've been saying this a lot in the show this year, but I'm a huge fan of this. So getting a little bit into my handicapping, I love teams, Prez, that have a great mixture of veterans and youth. And the New York Rangers have exactly that. You know, they have young guys and older guys to kind of, you know, Alexis Lafreniere has literally called Chris Kreider like an older brother figure, you know, and I think that stuff's really important for teams. And you look at the start to the season that the New York Rangers had, they lost a game to the Washington Capitals, and then they lost a game to the Dallas Stars, okay? After that, it's been 4-0 in solid fashion. The most any team has scored on them in their last 4 games is 2 goals. And now they're at home. The problem is that I see here, it's a very interesting travel spot. They had Montreal on the East Coast, Toronto, then they fly to Nashville, and then they go back to Ottawa. I thought that was kind of weird, Prez. They play Montreal, Toronto, then they go to Nashville, and then back to Ottawa. I thought that was a really weird spot. I mean, this team has been traveling, and now that here they are in New York, and then, you know, Calgary coming in from their traveling. It just seems like both these teams have been on the road quite a bit. First game back home for the Rangers. My play here is the first period over, 1.5 goals, -115. I don't play a lot of first period overs. Calgary has won 3 of these this year for over in the first period. And I just think fatigue has to be at the maximum. I mean, Prez, have you ever seen anything like that? Do you have any explanation as to why they might have done that? Usually it's a whole East Coast sweep. You know, they play Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa. Why would they play Montreal, Toronto, go to Nashville, and then go back to Ottawa?
Dude, I got no idea. Like, the scheduler did not call me. I'm sure it happens from time to time. I do know one thing. And I was actually, this is not even a joke. I was thinking about this in the car a few days ago. These schedulers, it's insane, the jobs that they have to do. Like, we have to play every team in our division X number of times, once there, once here, but it can't be if the basketball team is playing there because we won't have their rink. Then we have to organize the schedule. Then they have to play teams on the other coast. I mean, it's like the freaking actuaries work this shit out, dude. So ask me another question related to hockey and not scheduling.
Well, I mean, it's related to the betting aspect, right? Because I think that it definitely has probably impacted, even though it's early in the season, I do think it has probably impacted that both teams have traveled quite a bit recently, which is why I'm on the first period over in this one. But yeah, they do have a tough job. And the Islanders getting their new arena built, they played 13 straight games on the road to start off their season. Seattle starts on the road. They get back home. It's definitely a hard job for those guys. Once again, guys, $9 Monday, WagerTalk.com. You can find both Prez and myself. We have best bets up in the NHL, giving away free plays here. Best bets at the end on puck time. But all of our best bets and favorite plays are featured at WagerTalk.com. We have the Los Angeles Kings and the St. Louis Blues. Our next matchup here, Prez. Totals at 5.5. St. Louis Blues -180. Well, we had St. Louis. They scored 7 goals. These teams met just a couple days ago. And I'll tell you, I've been riding the overs with St. Louis this year, Prez, and I do not plan on stopping. I don't. Keep giving me these 5.5s, and I'll keep betting the overs with them.
Andrew, why though? Not why are you betting the overs? I agree 100% with the overs. More, why? Why is St. Louis changing their, their who they define themselves as? I mean, this is a team that was playing tight checking hockey and winning games 2-1, 3-2, 3-1. Now all of a sudden they're flying out there. Why? Like, what was the reason?
I think they were injured for quite a bit last year to start the season off, and that played a huge factor. When you're injured, you have to kind of change your strategy to a lower scoring team. And would you agree with me that Binnington has kind of regressed since they even won that cup? I think over the past year and a half, Binnington hasn't looked as good.
100%.
Yeah,
no, 100%. Listen, I lean on the over in this game. Other than that, again, we've got a 4-0 team in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Playing a crapper. So, one would think St. Louis is the play here. I don't. I'm passing on the side. But I do like the over in this game as well, but not enough to bet it. This is just like me and you talking.
For sure. Well, speaking of us talking, I just got to run something by you because personally, I don't like betting games or sides in games where teams have just recently played. I haven't had success with it too often. In the CFL, we both handicap that. They do that quite a bit. They have home and homes. And in the NHL, even early in the season, sometimes we talk about the weird schedule makers. Sometimes, Prez, we see some teams, they're planning on playing each other 7 times in the entire season. We'll see them play 4 times in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
And, these teams are playing. They've played just a couple days ago. Does that ever impact your handicapping or make you stay off a game that they just, played each other? Because it only makes me want to bet a total. I usually just say based off what I saw in the first game. And I think back in the day, you used to see coaches watching film after that first game, and they would correct things defensively. And the next game would move towards an under. Now I think it's absolutely switched. They watch film, they learn the things they did right, things they did wrong, and it turns into an over game. I mean, I don't know. I can't see things changing from a few days ago.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, I have no I don't really look at it. It's all individual. I mean, if Tampa Bay plays Detroit 2 games in a row, I'm not going to shy away from playing Tampa Bay. As far as the under or over goes, I look at the dynamics of the team. So, if you take a look at Calgary, the New York Rangers, I think if they play against each other in either arena 10 times, I think the game goes under 5.5, 7 times. So I'm happy to play under back-to-back with those 2 teams. So right. I don't have any overall, thoughts on that. Hockey, guys, hockey is a sport, where you gotta pick the teams that you think are going to do well, or the teams that play a certain style, i.e., I'm going to take Edmonton Oilers over the total, and you gotta just ride it. And if you lose the first one, if you lose the second one, you just gotta keep going. Stick with what you believe in those teams. And go for a couple of weeks, literally riding the same bet over and over and over again. It's like no other sport that way. So, I don't, back-to-back 3 games in 4. I'm going to just stick to, my thoughts. And I've told everybody, Edmonton, Florida, Rangers, I had Chicago in there. I backed off Chicago. So,
right.
Stick to your guns. Keep playing the same type of bets over and over. My clients will notice, Andrew, they don't get many bets on games that the LA Kings are in, or the Anaheim Ducks are in, or the St. Louis Blues are in. I stay within an area of 8 to 10 teams, and those are the teams I play.
And I can't blame you for that. And I got to give you credit because throughout the summer, I was watching WagerTalk today, and you spoke about that. You had a great, little tandem about that when you mentioned these teams play so many games. And that's kind of what I talked about with the New York Rangers. They lost their 2 games, and people were like, the sky is falling. The Rangers aren't who we thought they were. Yes, they are. It was just 2 games. So I am right there with you. I think people have to trust their instincts more.
Yeah, and
if you have a thought going into the season, don't give up on it after a team loses 3 games,
Right. And it's exactly the same with what you were saying with the Leafs scoring. I think this team is going to be an over team when all's said and done. Don't worry about it. 82 games. I think we're week 2.
Yes.
Right? It could be 3, but yeah, everyone must relax.
Yeah. But I will say, speaking of that, though, even though I did mention the expected goals, we do have to get into our next game. But I want to say this. This year has been a big eye test year so far. And what I mean by that is you have to go based off what you've seen, not what you think is going to happen based off your projections. Because San Jose, nobody thought they would have the start they had. Buffalo, nobody thought they'd have the start they did. So you have to have a mix between your projections, the expected goal stats, your matchup stuff, but also just based off what you've seen, because your thoughts, just like power rankings, are going to change. You have to constantly be adjusting those throughout the season. But I'm right there with Prez. Why not bet some of these teams? Why not fade Arizona constantly? I don't see why not, unless, you get a horrible odds, but they're going to be a bad team. I will try as many ways as possible as I can to have a bet against the Arizona Coyotes in quite a different, way several times this year. This time might be a different spot, just like Prez said, might be a stay away, but we'll see if we can get involved. Prez, we're going to jump into our next game. I just want to ask you about your show coming up, WagerTalk today. Who's joining you guys today?
Marco D'Angelo at the top of the show, and he will be discussing my 5-0 NFL day, and then Brian Leonard after that, and his focus will be on my 17-6 NBA run. So it really should be a great show. Thank you, Andrew.
Well, one hell of a Sunday. 5-0 for Prez. Make sure you guys are watching the NFL Presidential Address as well.
Dude, I got to tell you. I went 0-5 in college football on Saturday. So
okay. I respect it. I respect the mention.
Yeah. I mean, like, take my 5-0 Sunday with a grain of salt. I went 0-5 on Saturday in college football, a 2-5 day altogether. But yeah, man, I did not sleep well Saturday night.
Well, you know what? You're a good man for mentioning that, because not a lot of people probably would have. So you're a good man for mentioning that. I respect it. Let's get into our last game on the board. Been a fun show so far. Lots of different types of games to discuss. The Dallas Stars and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Road favorites here for the Stars, -130. Columbus, they're +110 here at home. Total is at 5.5 in this game. Columbus, to me, is a little bit of a surprise, here. I thought they'd be an improved team, a strong team offensively, but I've been a bit surprised with them so far to start off this year. I mean, coming off that rough game against Carolina where they allowed 5 goals, but Carolina's looked really strong. We saw this Columbus team, take care of the Islanders, take care of Seattle Kraken, and they demolished the Arizona Coyotes. The problem is, Prez, they haven't played elite teams yet. The question is, how elite are the Dallas Stars? And for me, my short answer is I'm just not quite sure yet, because they play such tight games against everybody. I mean, it's kind of like what you said on the show last week about the Bruins. They could have the elite players in the world, and they would still beat the LA Kings 2-1 in OT. They're just that kind of team. So when you mentioned in the last game about how you don't bet on certain teams, the Dallas Stars are a team that I'll probably be staying away from. But I like the +110 here at home if I was to play the game, simply from a value standpoint.
Well, Andrew, I think you summed it up. I mean, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, not only do I not play on games involving the Dallas Stars very often, but I don't play on games involving the Columbus Blue Jackets very often. I find both these teams historically, and when I say historically, I'm talking about over the last couple of years, given that who cares what the team was made of when Brett Hull played for them. But historically, or over the last 2 years, these teams are incredibly inconsistent. Dallas goes out and beats a team 5-1 and then loses the next night to a worse team 2-1. They're inconsistent in scoring. They're inconsistent on defense. And I don't want to bet teams that I find to be literally every team is inconsistent. It's just their volatility, those two teams, their volatility, it's too big. I lean on Columbus as well as at plus 110. I lean on the under in this game, but man, I am not touching this game with my own actual money.
No, until I see something out of the Dallas Stars that shows consistency, whether it's in a bad way or a good way, I'll be staying away. But if I was playing, I'm definitely not taking the road favorite in this one. Just a reminder again, guys, Prez was 10-2 on the NFL, or has a 10-2 run, but he had the audacity and the respect to mention his rough Saturday in college football. Gotta respect it. Gotta love it. Both of us have big plays up in the NHL today. I've got a 4% best bet. So does Prez. And we're both in action in the NBA. Let's jump into best bets. Tomorrow we're going to have Carmine back on the show. If he doesn't have too much fun tonight in Vegas, he'll be up early. We're going to have Buster Sports on again with us. But I'll throw it to you. You mentioned it, Prez. You already said the spoiler with what your best bet's going to be on the show, your power play. So this is your 1 minute to discuss anything you'd like to discuss and remind anybody that just tuned in what your best bet is.
Yeah, so during the show, I actually released the New York Rangers to my clients as part of my $9 Monday package. So I told you I liked the New York Rangers a lot. I told you I'd likely make them a play for my clients, and I did. So they are up. I do have another play. It's a 2-pack of NHL plays. I also have an NBA play. But really, Andrew, what I want to point everybody to really quickly is the NFL presidential address. You know, this is a show that was the first show ever at WagerTalk.com. We started this show about 6 years ago. It was me. It was 12 minutes long. I went down every game, top to bottom, at 100 miles an hour. Then the show morphed into a show with Kelly and I, and then Ralph and I, and now I'm back doing it alone. It's about a 30-minute show. Andrew, like, my record I went 8-5 on the show in NFL this week. 75 wins, 47 losses. My best bets on the show, 15-5. My teaser on the show, 5-1, which means the actual games that I am telling you to bet are 20-6 since the start of the NFL presidential address. Plus, like anything I do, I find the show very entertaining. So, guys, make sure to check that show out on a weekly basis. And, of course, Wager Talk today. Dude, what a pleasure doing the show with you. You and Carm are killing it. The graphics are absolutely outstanding.
I don't even know what to say, Prez. Congratulations on the success. The show seems to be doing really well. Great response with it, and the results to show for it. So congratulations to you. Make sure you guys are checking out Wager Talk today directly after puck time. That starts at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern time. My best bet is going to be Calgary and New York over 5.5. That's what I'm going with here. And the reason being is just the ridiculous travel for both these two teams. It's the first game back at home for the Rangers. They've had an unbelievable road trip. They went to the East Coast, to Nashville, back at home, back to Ottawa. Now they're back at home. Flames have traveled all around, and they're feeling a little confident about themselves. I feel like New York will get some goals on them. Two talented goaltenders featured in this game, but they won't be displaying some skill tonight. I believe the pucks fly in the net here tonight. Between two teams, I'd usually look under the total, but the situation screams over 5.5. So Flames Rangers over 5.5. My show best bet. I want to show all the best bets, or both the best bets on the screen. Prez has Carmine has Toronto Carolina over 6. That's what I wanted to mention. Carmine has Toronto Carolina over 6 as his best bet. He wanted to make sure to get that on the screen because you guys know Prez, or you guys know Carm. Prez has the Rangers minus 130. I have Calgary, New York over 5.5. Again, Carm is back tomorrow on the show. And in case you guys didn't see, because he wanted to make sure we have this mentioned, Prez, he has his best bet on the screen. That way he can't get after us. Toronto, Carolina over 6. On behalf of all of our producers, I'm Andrew. Thanks to Prez for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in wager bucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.